Namato Ratanantayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Zim, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And my respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening, everyone. So today is Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2020. Now, this is Achan Sujan from Warapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. As usual, I'm here with you all again tonight. And thank you everyone for joining with me, listening this every night ongoing Dhamma talk. And Manish, thank you from London, Yuan, our neighbor, Margaret, Colin, David, and everyone. So today is 19th. Can't believe that it's already over half a month of this August. Time flies so quick, and we never know how long. It's so quick, especially at the center, despite we ready every day 6 o'clock. The days goes by so quickly without knowing. And I often think nowadays, since I'm giving a talk every night, every evening like this, there is a consciously thinking of it and consciously planning of it. And with that, the time just goes by so quickly. So it's quite amazing. And day by day getting older and older. Getting gray hairs. And day by day thinking of a retirement. Right, okay, so I hope everyone are enjoying this day, and there are some news about the Aberdeen, that there was a remembrance day for those who passed away in a rail derailed and died 3 people last week. There was a ceremony at the train station, and the number of COVID-19 positive in Aberdeen not that fast growing as it was last week. So there are only 210 something, and the number of contacted people are kind of not increasing, and which I think is the reason why Aberdeen is announcing that will not lock down from next week, despite the government is still insisting to let the city still lock down. So this is going on, and meanwhile in other parts of the world, in India, the number of people contacted from this COVID-19 increased significantly. Now it's the second to the world, and the people also died a lot as well, and that also caused the increase of curfew and lockdown in Kathmandu and in Nepal, and which is going to start midnight tonight. So the whole Kathmandu will be full lockdown again. And but in other part, like in Thailand, is a little different situation. It's more of a political situation going on, and I hope it it's able to solve it. So this is what's going on in terms of at the center today. Pretty much we are more relaxed. Ajahn Pira has started the plastering before painting, and waiting for the window to install. And today, this morning's meditation, somehow my mind was thinking of a fire. So after the breakfast, we set up a fire and stayed with the fire. So my robes are smoky, smell smoky, and Some of the members who came dug potatoes and took away, and some were barbecuing potatoes at the outside, since there is no wind and no sunlight either, but it was not that cold and we all enjoyed. Apart from that, I was a little stressed today for different reasons, different stories to deal with it, but again, this is a life, hey-ho. Although being a monk, it's always different topics or different stories or different issue to solve. And this time, this problem is not from the center. It's more of like a personal things, and that causes. And I realize that when there is a personal issues comes, it's really stressful. Lucky that whenever these things come, mindfulness meditation helped me to stay calm and collected, and try to use mindfulness rather than brain to think about it. Okay, so like that. Anyway, okay, let's go to our tonight's topic again. Okay, so I've been talking about the different aspects of the Buddha's teachings on the basis of first discourse of the Buddha that Buddha gave for the first time after his enlightenment, and which is again the foundation of all the Buddha's teachings. And in that Four Noble Truth and Eightfold Noble Path, these are the main teachings of the Buddha. And I've been talking through now the third factor of Eightfold Noble Path, which is the Samma Vacha, and within that Samma Vacha, I have been talking about the don't lie, and then yesterday I talked about slander and gossips. So, within this again, same topic, the Samma Vacha or the right speech, there are another two aspects two aspects there, and one is called the Parusaya Vachaya, which means what's called speaking harsh words, and then the last one is the Sampapalapa Vachaya. It's an idle chatter. So I will be focusing on these two today. So yesterday I was talking about the slander, and I got quite a few messages saying that they have also experienced similar things and understood similar thing. One message came from Australia, one from Aberdeen, and one from London as well. And in the meantime, there was one messenger, a call from Nepal, also was talking the same experience about the slander, that how they thought, and they also thought the green grass other side of the river, and later on they changed their view of knowing that every community there is a slander and gossips going on. So basically, in this case, since we know, we better stop, right? So that's the main reason with stopping with the kindness and compassion and sympathy. Okay, and the next topic today is on the Parusaya Vachaya, which is the third factors of right speech. So avoiding the harsh speech. Now, before going into it, I would like to read out from the scripture what the Buddha said. So the Buddha said on this Sampapalapa Vachaya, or the abstaining from harsh speech, that he avoids harsh language and abstain from it. It's very clear. And he says, Buddha further says that he speaks such words as are gentle, soothing to the ear, and loving, such words as go to the heart. So Buddha is suggesting that rather than speaking harsh words, we better speak which is gentle and lovable and nice to hear, which also touches their hearts, and so courteous, friendly and agreeable to many. So it's more of a friendly chat needs to be spoken. And this is what Buddha said in the discourse. Okay, and in relation to that, and many people use the word which is very famous, and sorry to tell you and sorry to speak, which is not a nice word, and apologies if that offends you. So many people use the word fuck, yeah, and this is everywhere. You can hear everyone use fucking. And I thought, initially when I heard this for the first time about 10 years ago, I was wondering, what does it mean? And I didn't know what does it mean, especially in Wolverhampton. Everyone is using. On the bus I hear using, in the market I saw they're using, and what is this word about? And I even went to the dictionary, couldn't find what does it mean, right? And later on I realized, oh, this word is so bad word, a harsh word, and they use for everything. They use for anything, to tell you off, to buy or not, disagree, or make you feel down, dominate, bully, insult, everything. Mind you, it is not for only general people. I also got told off like that so many times. Okay, even in Wolverhampton, in Birmingham, mind you, I faced it yesterday in the city of Aberdeen too. Okay, as I was just coming out from the bank, HSBC, there were a bunch of children, in a way, not the children, teenage. So they were just coming, I think they were going back home from school, I would say, because they were fully on a school dress. And as I walk past, and one of the girls, apologies for this language again, okay, and say, what the fucking of this dress he's wearing? And I stood and looked at them, and they were frightened. I feel sorry for them, actually. I frightened them, all four of them, so frightened that I stood, and looked at them. And I after that, I haven't seen they're frightened. I feel sorry, so I just walked past again. I walked and laughed myself as I walk. So that was, told off by teenage girls by using the F word. Okay. And meanwhile, a few years ago, when I was walking from this, in front of, I was just walking from the Mark Spencer's in the city, and going through there is a small alley you can go, and going towards the castle gate, and there was one guy. He was like, shouting, using this fucking like that, saying that, oh, we don't want this Buddhist monk here in the city, and why you're here, like that. And then all the time, every sentence, he was using this word fucking. And I thought, so, and then I didn't say anything. I just stood and looked at him and felt, oh, so poor. You do not know who am I. You do not know what I'm doing here, and like that. And I feel so sorry for him. And then I just walk past, like that. And this again, you can see even life of the Buddha. And so I normally compare with the Buddha in these cases. Whenever somebody tell me off or use a harsh word, Buddha, we cannot compare his greatness and his compassion, and how important, and such a great man, and who is enlightened, and who also a teacher of all gods and humans, so great master. And yet in his lifetime, so many times he had to face these insults, these harsh words, And particularly, I would like to tell you one story, or maybe a few stories. One of them is that, one time, one of the Brahmins, the followers of Hindu Brahmanism that times, well, those days doesn't call Hinduism, and which is, I think, many people confuse even these days, that Hinduism now is the same as the Hinduism during the time of the Buddha. Actually, it's completely different, two different religions in a way. So Hinduism is more modernized than Brahmanism. But anyway, so one of the Brahmins came with a very angry, angry at the Buddha, and then while Buddha was sitting, he just used every single harsh word to tell the Buddha off. And every word that he could think of. And Buddha was quite silently, listening all what he had to say. Now remember, if someone is coming to tell you off and you say nothing, you just listen and watch that person, he will be run out of words, and he will be run out of any ideas to tell you off. And this is exactly what happened with this Brahmin when he was telling the Buddha off. Buddha didn't reply. Buddha simply looked at him, watching, listening. No response at all, no reactions at all. And after a couple of minutes, he was run out of the words. And he couldn't shout anymore. He was tired. So that's basically what happens. You can try at your in your daily life too. If someone is shouting, just stood there, smile at him. I dare they will be run out of the words. Okay, and then that's happened to the Brahmin, and then after he was run out of the words, he was tired, and he said, "I've been telling you off so much. Didn't it hurt you any little?" Right? And then the Buddha, rather than saying anything, the Buddha said to the Brahmin that, "Brahmin, if any guests come to your home and you prepare a delicious food to him or to her, and if he or she doesn't eat it, what do you do with the food?" And this Brahmin said, "What a silly question. I have prepared the delicious food, and if they don't eat it, I will take it, and I will keep it, I will eat it." It's a silly question. But that was a trick. And the Buddha told him, "Brahmin, that is same to me. All that you have said, I don't want it. Take with you." So indirectly telling him off. And with that, the Brahmin was so impressed that despite of I'm saying so much harsh words, and yet it didn't even touch Buddha at all. And Buddha was simply there listening patiently, and with a kindness, with a sympathy towards a person who is so ignorant, not knowing the consequences of that saying harsh word. So then with that, he was so impressed with the Buddha, and then he became the followers of the Buddha. Okay? So like that. So harsh word. And similarly, there is another sutra. It's called another sutra story. The story of a Chinchamanavika. And this is basically a group of Brahmins. A group of Brahmins having seen or heard the Buddha's fame and gain, and the people are so following him, and the Brahmins were very jealous and didn't want this Buddha to become more famous. And with that, so they hired a girl, and sent her to the temple every night, right? And after a couple of months later, during the time when the Buddha was giving a talk, in the middle of the so many people, she came and then told the Buddha off, saying that what kind of a dad you are, you have given this, I am pregnant now and you have no responsibility, you are not looking after me, like that. So she was telling so many harsh words at the Buddha, and the Buddha simply replied that, sister, you and I alone know it, no one knows about it. And with this kind and patiently speaking word that touched, the word of a sister that touched the lady Chinchamanavika, and immediately what happened was she was tying the pillow under her clothes, and this, when she was tense, she was controlling that. At that moment, when she was relaxed, the rope just fall down and the pillow fall down like that, and she was so ashamed with it, like that. So these are harsh words we should be avoiding, and the reason behind people speak harsh words is simply because of anger, and then thought of hurting other people. And when I looked at the sutta, there are three kind of different forms of speaking a harsh word, but in the basic term there are three. One is intending to abuse, scolding someone simply to abuse. And this abuse we can see and we can hear in every sector of our lives, even from the primary school, secondary school, when you go to uni, and even when you go to the workplace, and even in the family as well. And this scolding happening and abuse happening at all the time. And these sometimes simply anger, other times simply to hurt someone, or other times simply to dominate, or to get the power over that person. And this is not the right thing to do. And abuse obviously is not the right things to do. There's a lot of consequences of that abuse that continues even during the child time happen. It can continue for the rest of the life. And the second is insult, and that's basically a desire or intent to hurt someone with using the offensive words to disqualify. And again, the last one is a sarcasm, so which is again we can hear and we can see a lot, and these are regarded as a harsh speech. And these should be avoided if a person who is true and who is very kind and doesn't want any consequences to come to the person. So these are the three basic categories or forms of a harsh speech. And someone who is practicing mindfulness meditation, and someone who is practicing this kindness and compassion, they will not speak harsh word at all. They will rather hold their breath, their anger, their emotions, and will not speak to that person or express in that way too. Now, and if you are angry and if you are practicing meditation and kindness and compassion at all the time, even when you say the harsh word, it won't affect to other people. Believe me, it's true. Like me, right? When I say harsh word, people laugh at me. And I have seen so many times. And one story I will tell you. When I was in India, right, in Buddha Gaya, and there was children were just causing trouble, and then I told them off using the Hindi word, okay, and I told them off with very angry face and using a very loud voice, and these children didn't fear at all. They made fun of me. And at that same time, nun came, a nun who lives in Buddha Gaya. Nepalese nun. Now she has built a temple there. So she came and she said exactly the same word, but the tone, the way she said was different. And all frightened. They run away. And that same thing happened when I was traveling to Nalanda. Okay, it's one of the oldest Buddhist universities, maybe one of the oldest international Buddhist university that established in India by Buddhist monks, and which was destroyed by the Muslim Turk invasion in India. At that time, that was my first visit, so that was probably 15 years ago. And at the gate, people were just, testing your patience. And then I could speak Hindi, so then I told them off. But rather than they get the fear of me, they were just laughing at me and making a joke out of me. So like that. And even here in England or in Scotland as well, sometimes I tell them off and tell people off. They do not see any fear of me. So I'm not good at causing any fear to anyone. So I'm a bad. So that's why what we need to know is that when someone speaks harsh word, we need to practice patience. And the patience and forbearance is the greatest key. The Buddha said that this is the beauty that arose from inside in you, and this beauty is that not shaken by anything, anyone, anywhere. It doesn't matter, in the middle of the crowd someone comes and harass you by using the words or harsh words, your mind is unshaken and the person will not be able to notice any difference before and after, and that's how you conquer. And so this is a practice of a patience in your life. So when someone speaks harsh word, think of the patience and forbearance. Okay, patience is the key to overcome these harsh words. And in the meantime, try not to speak any harsh words with the intention to insult, to abuse, or to as a form of a sarcasm to anyone. The consequences always there as a part of the lying. Okay, so I offer this as a reflection for tonight, and take care. Thank you very much for listening, and may you all be well and happy. Take care and stay safe. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you. In a few moments we will have evening chanting and guided meditation. You're most welcome to join with us. Until then, see you. Bye bye. Good night.